And look, I didn't even forget to turn off my mic. Or turn on my mic. Turn my mic on. Did not forget to turn my mic on. Aren't you proud of me? We are here. It is brunch time. I am excited. I am indeed, Daniel, gunged over. It was a fun night. Super fun night. I'm glad that I was worried. So the day of, and I think the week of, I was kind of an anxious mess, going like, oh, I don't know if everybody is going to get the joke or get it. But we did. Everybody came together, and it was a fire event, and I never used fire as like a verb like that before. So I'm excited for next year. We've taken some notes. We have a couple mysterious benefactors, and I cannot wait. Next year cannot come soon enough for the Gungies, and hopefully I won't be fucking sick, because that, man, that really took away from it. Oh, man. Let's see, what do we got on our agenda today? We got TB. I am a little bit miffed this morning. I think there were about 30 to 50 people watching on Twitch, and then YouTube said there was like 187 at its peak on YouTube. And obviously Meathead was watching on Twitch. So Meathead was there. I thought he was going to pop in for 5 minutes. But he was there the whole show, watched the whole thing. I thanked him for it afterwards in Discord. He said that there was actually a bunch of people from CG lurking and watching. So that was kind of super cool and exciting to know that they were there and found it interesting enough to see what was going on with it. Ooh. All right. We have TB. I'm a little bit annoyed this morning. My guild, we're going to definitely do our 41. We usually do 41. We were running a new plan to get 42 with Vandor, needing 5 platoons. And we've already had 2 people accidentally use their platoon units somewhere else. One of them somebody else corrected, and we got it. One of the missing platoons, the person just hasn't logged in yet. And then this one right here, that person forgot and used their GI, which really sucks. Was not happy about it. We maybe can still hit the 42 goal, but I think it's unlikely. I told my other TB officer that I would consider doing the GI this morning, depending on where our math falls. But I'm not really holding out hope. TB teams for... I'm assuming 4 light side nodes, right? Because, oh man, because these middle nodes are really easy, without anything. You don't really need anything for them. The quad mate team does pretty nicely in some of these planets. Obviously, the Gungies do really nicely, but they need their Omicron to do really, really well. I don't really use any other non-GL teams on light side, though, because the light side nodes are hard. Other than, like, day 1, where I can get away with Mon Mothma. The other ones are like actually tough. Hey, Happy. Good morning. Thanks for joining us for brunch. So they're just tough battles. I haven't tried the Mandalorians yet. I don't have. Oh man, I don't have the Paz Omicron. I don't even know if the Paz Omicron does super well, but I've been largely unimpressed with Mandalorians overall when it comes to TB. But I have found for the light side nodes, especially past the first day, that you really have to heavily rely on GL teams. You know, other than I'm sure some people have come up with things. Do you do it without JML? Interesting. Yeah, I mean, on Lothal, if you have the planets, Lothal is one of the easier planets. If you have the platoons, you can get away with, you could probably get away with CLS on Lothal if you have platoons. Just because the platoon bonus, is this Lothal? Yeah, it is. Where is it? Because the level 3 platoon bonus just adds calling random allies to assist. So, like, there's just so much assisting going on. But you'd probably need that level 3 bonus for it. Alright, we got stuff to do. And then we'll do the math and we'll see where my guild is falling. Hopefully I don't suck at this mission today because I really could use the CM points. Hey, Nee. Good morning. Welcome back to brunch. I am getting decent assists this morning. Sometimes you just get no assists at all, and it really screws with your run. So that is helpful, at least. Is not as helpful. Ooh, that is gonna be... Oh, God. Come on. Oh, Moonborn. Good morning. Moonborn is the real star of the Gungies. All of the graphics for him, just literally everything. Everything was his. I actually haven't done that because I always worry that the AoE is not going to take him out. I'm going to try that next time. I'll try it next time. I'm always concerned about that. Yeah, man, having COVID sucks. I've been coughing so much. My wife got it after me, so she's like going through it now and just starting her bad days. He was moon born for a day like that. Alright, we did it though. We did it. Because if we do okay, I will maybe do the GI today. For the guild. Everything for the guild. The guild must succeed. Alright. Gungies. Oof. I'm actually on my tail end. I'm good other than I've got a little bit of a lingering cough left, which is very nice. But she's in one of the bad days. Yesterday was a bad day. Um, we'll see how today is for her. Oh man. Ba-da-da-da-ba-ba-da-da. Da-da-da-ba-ba-da. The Gungies. Da-ba-da-da-da-ba. Ba-da-da-da-da-ba-ba. Da-da-ba-ba-da-da-da. Song's gonna be stuck in my head. Moonborn, don't you have like a Spotify account now that you paid for because of the Fuck You Bones song? You should put the title song on Spotify with the video too, because you can put videos on there. I'll listen to it every once in a while. And then you can collect your residuals. A quarter of a penny every 10 years. There we go. Okay, we're doing good today. What is that? 1.5, so 2.2 CMs or 2.2 million. TB would not be. So Knight, Nee, you actually came in right after I was saying this. We're going to do 41 definitely. And we were in a position to do 42 today. But we've had a lot of mishaps on these Vander platoons where multiple people... So this one, we actually weren't planning to do. And we told people not to even apply them. But I guess they didn't listen. Create anything more for the Gungies album. So we had two people forget that they had a character that they specifically signed up for operations, and one of them has been solved, and we still have these two we're waiting on. This one, this person just hasn't logged in yet, and this person used their Grand Inquisitor. So that kind of puts us a little behind on getting to the 42 that we want. So I'm hoping still. Another 1 point, well, that would get me to 3.7 if we do this. And I think that this one is easy enough to auto. They really were. They really were. Bit Dynasty shined, and I don't know, Moonborn, if you've seen the chat for the Gungies committee, but Bit Dynasty has already, committed some ideas for next year that I'm interested in seeing. And we've had a few people reach out wanting to contribute to the budget for next year. Like after they saw the show saying, hey, I honestly thought this was going to suck, but you had me like laughing the entire time. How can I help out? So we're kind of excited about that, and we'll see if that comes through. Because that would fundamentally change next year so much. I actually, yeah, Hot On, I saw you pop in, and maybe I think you made another joke as well because I saw that one. Because I didn't see those two. Chat was going very fast, Gungies night. And I obviously had a lot of sources I needed to worry about and different things that needed to be paid attention to. All right. Let's see. So I've done 3.7 so far. 3.7. Let's see if we can make this another one. I gotta find a nice Empire counter to this that can, like, do it on auto so that Gauntlet Starfighter doesn't, like, go completely to waste. Thank you, Air. I appreciate it. It was an exciting night. Just Daniel getting in on the jokes. Daniel trolling me all Friday. Every minute in Discord. Hey, what's going on tonight? Is anybody doing anything? Oh, we're just having a low-key Friday? Fuck you, man. It was funny, but still. Thank you, Bill Nye. It was a collaborative effort. Again, Moonborn, when it comes to our side of things, was the real star. I really had nothing to do with it until the last week. The last week I had a ton of work that needed to get done. But he's responsible for the intro. He's responsible for the awards. He's responsible for the backdrops. He's responsible for the outro, for the in memoriam, for the, like... I don't function without him. One day, Arnold's gonna poach him, and then I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'll just be stuck in limbo. But da 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 da. All right, so we've done 4.7 million in CM so far, so that's kind of definitely helped my guild to build back some of the Officer LS at 680, so we are going to... Oh, good. Look, Quentin already did that for me. Nice. Alright, let's pop over here. I know I'm going back and forth in my head on different things, but that should help us with getting back from where we were. I would... If he does, I told him I'll do it at my own expense. My man, I would be screwed. Completely screwed. Let's see. I don't think I have enough Imperial Remnant to run a squad here. No, and I might have to do a GI, so I can't even do it for fun. A few million USD. Alright, then I think I'm safe, man. So we are going to throw... Let's throw Night Trooper in there. Because Old Daka is R9 now. So our Old Daka had to get platooned. It was a sad day. My Night Sisters were my fan favorite TB team, and now I never get to use them. Because I'm the one that has them at the high relics to put them into platoons or whatever else needs to get done. Ooh. This is not looking good. Not looking good. I don't think we have a way to save this. The only way I have to save this is to basic and hope for the best. Oh, that sucks. Just auto basic and hope for the best. That's all we got. There's very few people in my guild that have high relic Night Sisters. Very few people. I am like a phenomenon. Oh, I don't like this. Oh well. I mean, I've done, what, 4.9 now? You know, because when you get to this level, Nana, and you're doing like, hey, we need an R9 platoon. You don't say, hey, dude that has an R3 Old Daka, can you get the R9 Old Daka? You say, hey, crazy guy who already has an R8 Old Daka. And of course I say yes. And I don't have the relic material right now with having to do an R5 today with our poll later. And also having to maybe do Grand Inquisitor. I'll already have to spend crystals to do Grand Inquisitor. I was hoping that auto basic would work, and it's okay that it didn't. It's fine. It's not that big of a deal. I've done way more than... Well, that's another thing. When you get to, like, our level, like, it's nice to have an alt account, but usually an alt account is much lower than a main account, and we just can't afford to have an account that's much lower. We do have one guy that quit the game and gave us his account, and he is a higher level, so we do use him as a semi-platoon junkie. My other TB officer controls him, and a lot of our mistakes we make that account do. but I'm also a crazy. Nana, the way, I don't know if you're on an ad now, but the way that Twitch works is I can either have a longer break, like they set it up as like 3 minutes of ads, an hour, and I can either have shorter breaks every like 10 to 15 minutes, or I can have just one long break. And I figure one long break makes more sense. But there's also YouTube. YouTube, I only run those ads while I'm actually on a break. Yeah, I can't control it the same way with as Twitch as I can with YouTube. YouTube, I can very specifically control it. Twitch is a little bit more like guess. But again, those pennies also help pay for Streamlabs, which we use to offset the cost of being able to be on both. Let's see. I've done 7.6 million territory points this specific phase between those platoons, deploys, and combats. I don't have any deploys yet, so that's pretty nice. Where do I fall in total? 84, not bad for not doing phase 1. I completely ignore phase 1 now. Alright. Let's do Leia here. Because sometimes it works. You know what's funny? We have a solo. I actually didn't drink a lot. I had 2 beers. I was sober going into the event. I had no beers that day going into the event. We put out a Gungies. I'm gonna pull it up because I really want people to fill this out. We did a Gungies feedback form. Which, seriously, I really, really would appreciate people filling this out because we really want to make the show so much better next year. But one of the complaints was that the host was too drunk. And I was sober the whole time. I had 1 beer early on. And I had another beer, I had half of another beer later on. And right from the beginning, everyone was like, oh, Egnard is drunk. And I very much was not. So when I saw that on the forum, I thought it was actually hilarious. Oh, that sucks. But from the feedback I have seen so far, most of it has been very positive. And constructive, I should say, is the better word. First step is admitting I have a problem. All right. Not the best luck there. That's okay. Let's see. All right. And just throw some crap with him, I guess, and see what happens. Maybe I'll get a one of two. Yeah, let's go with it. Well, remember I was sick. Again, it was a blessing in disguise, though, to be sick, because it gave me a lot more time during the week to do editing. And I had to learn editing because I had no idea how to edit before then, so it was pretty decent. A decent job done for having no experience at all. Okay. Oh my god. I don't think that this is doing shit, but we'll whatever, right? Let's just throw it in and see what happens. I need to start a high relic fund. My guild needs to stop screwing up in TB so that I can actually have a high relic fund. Start putting higher relics into these kinds of characters. I was drunk. I that's fair. I was maybe drunk on excitement. That entire week was like this haze. All right. Oh, you know what? Before I do this, Belloc will get mad at me if I don't do this. So let me take a screenshot here, because I know that this map is incorrect on the TB. In the TB library, and I have to fix it. And let's see. This sometimes works, it sometimes doesn't work. I don't really ever typically expect it to work. Ooh, maybe I'll get a 1 of 2 on this? That would be nice. Maybe we'll get this. Oh, that sucks. That I didn't want to happen. Okay, let's see. Can we do this? Take out the leader. Alright, this is a possibility. This might happen. With just random-ass Jedi. I mean, they're good Jedi, but not really good together. It's not exactly a cohesive team at all. Not even all Jedi, right? We have an Ufu in there too. Let's throw this bitch on auto. Alright, okay. We've done alright. I'm no Jedi. Alright, let's see. How do we do? We got... Oh, that's like an active zone. Phase info. 9 million points. 3 of those are from deploying... deploying, like, the actual characters. So, 6.2 million territory points. That's not bad at all. Even a little bit. Let's see where the math is going to fall for right now, based on where we are right now. 730 minus 686. 341 minus 164. Plus 396. I wish that the game just had a fucking tool that would do this for us. Plus 500 minus 487, 295, minus 224. So we're sitting at a negative 71 right now without those platoons. Man, we're doing pretty good. Minus 71 right now. Oh, and the other guy who has the other one, Hunter. Crap. He sometimes hasn't even appeared on Sundays at all, which kind of sucks. Well, we're going to have to see. We'll have to check back in with TB after and see what's going on with it. And I'm just pressing random things by accident right now. Am I just... Lady Geek. Today I learned... I mean, I knew that it did that. In, like, you know, like in the back of your head when you know that that happens. But you never think, like, oh, hey, I could just do that. That would be a much easier way to do the math next time. I'll have to remember that for next time. What do we got going on? Let's see. Nothing else. That's low. Any decent mods? Yeah, I know what you're talking about. And I've looked at that before, but I've never looked at it and gone, oh, I could use that number. Because I'm dumb. Alright, well, we'll have to check back in with TB because I need to know if I have to do certain characters, and we'll have to see if that person does what he needs to do. I am going to go fill up my coffee with some water. I will be right back, and then we'll check in with Conquest, and then we have our roster review. So give me a minute to a minute and a half, and I will be back. All right. Let's go, right? Conquest. How's everyone doing with their conquests? I'm basically done. I just have some maintenance stuff that needs to get done. I don't know if I'll be able to get it done today just because it all relies on the same team. I know that this is not that map. I'm just looking to see if that guy did his thing. See, I got 12. Oh, only 12 points. Maybe I will. I guess I didn't even need this feat. Let's see, because we need 3 more Imperial Remnant wins, and then we're done. Huh. Look at that. Yeah, day 6, day 5, 6, so today is day 7, right? Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Yeah, today's day 7. I'm usually just doing like a finish up maintenance thing at this point. Oh, Bill Nye. My man, listen, what you guys got to do, you got to go on Discord and ask questions in the Conquest area. I have had some people like before ask me questions on the last day, and I'll be like, guys, we can get you there. But then they don't have enough time. I'm surprised, Solo. Don't you normally red crate or no? I guess I can also use my consumables to make this go faster because I don't have any other use for them. Hey, Soper. I appreciate it, buddy. No one ever sends me bits. Thank you. Oh, that's right. You know what's funny? I thought Conquest ended tomorrow. You're right. You're right. It does not end tomorrow. I was all like, oh, we're going to unlock Dark Ray tomorrow. And that's not happening. I'm a dummy, like, wondering and going, wait a second, why are people so far behind? I have, I think because I was off of work all last week sick, I kind of just don't know what day it is to some extent. We could throw Ray in there, right? Like, just because. Why not? Don't really need her, but it's just an... Oh, fuck, come on. Really? We getting lucky crits? This is the battle where they choose to get lucky crits? Let's see. Maybe it still works. Oh, no. I get it. I guess that ally slot... Wow. That ally slot is causing me not to get the bonus. Shit. Okay. Let's fix that. That I didn't even think about. That was a silly goose thing. Yeah. You know, I didn't consider that. But that's what's happening. So let's burn it. Burn it with... I should have used SLKR just for the hell of it. And I can't even... Oh, God. Because I'm using Jabba, it's not going to use Dark Ray. Doesn't matter. It's fine. It's all fine. I wonder if it's going to burn the consumable. Yeah, okay, it did. That was a silly goose move on my part. I'm sitting here wondering, why are my guys dying? This shouldn't be happening. I guess it doesn't really make sense to test with Ray in the team if it's a team that is going to be broken by her. So, I mean, I guess it makes sense. I've just never considered the ally slot as being a slot that even cares about that. There we go. Oh, good. I know we've talked about it before. You know, a good guild really makes or breaks you as a player. And I'm a very strong advocate of being in a guild that is right for you as a player, rewards-wise. Because there's good people in every guild. And it does suck to leave a guild, but, like, if you really want to push yourself, you need to be in a guild that that's doing what you want to do. I want to check my Datacron stuff just to see. So we have about 215 of those just to see what I have. We have plenty of these. So we're probably going to go on. No, I don't need that. We're going to probably go on Sector 4. Nena, I'm going to be honest, the way that it works, I don't know. Let me see. I'll actually tell you because, you know, that's how I am. So let's check it out. Creators dashboard. How do we have ads set up here? Ads are set up as 3 minutes every hour. Ad length run. The way that I have it set up is to run 1.5 minutes every half hour. So instead of 3 minute ad, it's every half hour, it's 1.5 minute ad break. I try to be as inconspicuous with them as possible, but unfortunately that's also impossible. What I need is some swuggadaddies like Bones has, who just buy everybody gift subs, and then nobody complains about his ads. But I need my pennies too. I don't pretend to know how they run things. I just know that I have a little slider bar that I can adjust. And if I adjust it lower than 3 minutes, then I get a lesser share. Not lesser amount, because obviously less ads, but like literally a lesser share. And then Twitch just makes more money from the ads, each ad being run, which is stupid. Ooh, I've got an Audible credit. Last time we did this, someone asked me why I was running these on manual. It's so that I can chat with you guys. I need chatty people today. Oh, Black Hammer, fuck you. Black Hammer, did you watch the Gungies? Or do you hate me? Fuck the Bills. They knocked me out. They knocked my Broncos out. I'm mad at them. I want them to lose. I'm hoping for anything but Kansas City. Anything but Kansas City. I'm actually not listening to anything on Audible right this second. I have 2 Audible credits. I only get Audible when, like, 3 times a year, Amazon says to me, like, hey, we'll give you 3 months of Audible for $1 each. And then I sign up for those 3 months. If you have any suggestions, Discord them to me. I personally, on Audible, like to listen to, like, biographies. I prefer to read fiction, but I've also been finding it a lot harder to read lately over the last, like, year because of doing, like, Duo and trying to learn Korean as well, so I haven't had the time. So really, I'm open to any suggestions. Sacrifice. I just want Bones to be mad. Yeah, man. Third Sister blows away Conquest. Third Sister makes Conquest so easy to farm. Like, it... Especially when Amplify Agony is around. When Amplify Agony is around, like you could see, we're taking them literally down to 0. And they're still winning. If it comes down to Kansas City and the Bills, is Kansas City playing the Bills today? I honestly didn't look. Let's see. Football today. Oh, if it's Bills versus Chiefs, then yes, I want the Bills to win today. Then I want the Bills to win today, and then I want them to lose the Super Bowl. That would make me happy. Is with this one? Yeah, this is the Final Fantasy tattoo. Yep, 100%. All of my tattoos on my right arm are symbols from games that I enjoyed growing up. So I have, and I've been slowly adding to it over the years when I find like a symbol that I really like. I haven't found one for Star Wars that I really, really, really like. You know, because you could do the classic Rebels, you could do the classic Imperial, but it's all symbolism from games, other than the Mega Man, who is just my favorite. So Mega Man gets a pass. Yeah, what do I have on that arm right now? I have Zelda, which is hard for me to show because I have to tilt my arm. I've got the Mega Man. This one is Sub-Zero, Lin Kuei, Final Fantasy, and then we have Borderlands up here on the arm. Nice big one. The Jedi Knight Cal Kestis Zepho CM, so the one on... the one that's on Zepho, it depends on the team you're using. I'm surprised that you lost it, though, then, Nena, because I found I only have 2 Omicrons, and unless I put, like, really, really, really shitty Jedi with him, I typically win. Uh, 3PO, Chewie, where's Han? And that's a high value CM too. My wife loves tattoos too, and my thing is I would like to get a tattoo in every state that I visit. I have one from Vegas. I have one from Colorado. I have one from New York, and I have one that I got in Maine. I almost got one in Connecticut last weekend when I went to the brewery with Nomad. The brewery was celebrating its 8th anniversary, and they had a tattoo artist there doing flash tattoos. And I thankfully I didn't like any of the flash tattoos enough. Because I literally said to him, I was like, man, we gotta go because I will get a tattoo if I have one more beer. Based on the SB logo colors. I don't know enough about again, I'm a new football convert. I know that there's been controversy for years. I don't know enough about it. I know everybody's saying Kansas City is like the favorite and rigged and blah, blah, blah. I don't follow it. I just hope the Bills win today so that Bones can be sad for the next year. I love them, man. I loved, and those are not my only tattoos. I've got a few on this arm. I have a couple on my chest on both sides. I really, really am a big fan. And I like the scatter tattoo design, but I also only do black and white. So it does limit me in some aspects. When I was 22. You know what, though? Listen, Kansas City's a good team, right? They're a great team. But if you actually look at their games this season, they've had a lot of very near wins, right? Like, they beat the Broncos because of a blocked field goal. That is a super rare event. Right, like a super, super, super rare event, a blocked field goal. They always win in like that fourth quarter, like scramble. So there's always the possibility. Kemmins, yeah, we do brunch every Sunday. I don't know if you're on our Discord or not, but we have a very robust Discord. We are under a year old, but like over 3,000 people there. And I always post it there. All of our tags are opt-in. We never do mandatory tags of anything. But we do brunch every single Sunday. It's my favorite thing to do. We just hang out. I either talk to myself because nobody's chatty, or I talk with the people, both people on Twitch and on YouTube. And we just have a good time. It's very low-key, low effort, low vibe. Sometimes we bring guests on. Sometimes we hate the guests. Right, Black Hammer? I don't need that. Let's see. Are there any Datacrons that we need? This set's going away soon. What Datacrons am I missing? I think I kind of have all the ones that I would want. Because I'm not getting Ahsoka by the time that pops back around. Ooh, a riposte one. Riposte. I have C-3PO and I have Han Solo, so is it even worth it to take this higher? I mean, I can do... Is Commander Luke better than... Oh, Commander Luke is an UFU one, anyway. Crit damage. What are my level 3s? If I could get the max protect, it has to be level 9 to re-roll it. Alright, let's do it. Because if I could... I think I have the Piet one. Yeah, I've got the Piet one. We're going to do it just to re-roll that level 3. I've heard the Lando one is pretty good, but I'm not. I would like to get the 15% one. Because I can use this with Leia. Alright, there we go. Let's check back in. Let's see how this is going. Still don't have that platoon here, which is really fucking annoying. We have some housekeeping to do. We got to check in on our poll. Lady Geek, I've actually read both of them. World War Z, I read a long time ago, and actually, I think it would work really well as an audiobook, so that's a great suggestion. The Martian is one of my favorite books. I love Andy Weir as an author. He wrote, I'm going to find it, I'm posting this because this is one of my favorite things. He wrote a short story years and years and years ago called The Egg. And not because it's Egg Nards, but it's my favorite short story. I reread it every couple of years. And it just reminds me to like be good to people. And it blew my mind when I read The Martian and found out it was the same author. I read all of his stuff. Artemis was not as good, but it was still alright. Project Hail Mary is just an amazing book. I'm excited for his next one. But I really, really like them. Let's see. Let's go to our... Man, we've had a lot of tags over the last 2 weeks. Where is our poll? Here is our poll. Today is 126, and the poll winner is Kira. All right, so we have to relic Kira. So let's do it. Let's get her up. No double entendre intended there. I guess I should do this now, right? And each other mercenary also gain half potency. Alright, well, let's do it. Def, I'm assuming that you're here because I saw you earlier and I saw just saw your message, but it's very long, so I'm gonna have to read that after brunch. But I do appreciate you filling out the Gungies form. And I will get back to you. I just don't have the time to read a very long message right now. Okay, so Kira is R5. We have to put some characters into our poll for the next week. The next 2 weeks, rather. We're not really missing too much here, right? We got these guys, and then going all the way up, we've got these guys. Who are we adding to the poll for 2 weeks from now? What is 2 weeks from now? Is the, not the 2nd, is the 9th. Who are we doing on 2/9? Any suggestions? We can, of course, keep it exactly the same as last week, which is completely fine. Right now, I got Baze, L3, Boba Fett, Scion of Django, Vander, Talia, Ewok Scout, Ugnaught, the Mandalorian, and Imperial Probe Droid. It's easy kill. That's true. I might have to start doing the Kira special mission in day one. I am going to throw Omega in there. Because if this new Omega is coming out, I might as well. Okay, we're going to put Bodhi Rook. I'll give you guys about 30 seconds, and then we'll just leave it the same as last week if that's what we want to do, and that's completely fine. Young Lando. I don't actually need that CM, but we could still do that. Young Lando. The Gungies album is ready. Van is ready to go to streaming services. I love it. Vandor Chewy got on there. All right. Give you guys like 10 more seconds, and then we'll just do last week's poll, other than the switch out of a few of them for Vandor Chewy, Young Lando, and Bodhi Rook, and Omega. L3 is on there already, so we'll leave L3 on there. All right, we're going to keep the poll otherwise the same then. All right, we've switched out a few of them. I am going to post that poll now, take a very short break to fill up my water cup again, and then we're moving into our roster reviews. So give me 2 minutes, and I'm going to post this. Please go vote. Oh, look at me. Forgetting to put on my mic. I did it. It's there. We have to gameplay. Look, you know, Nurse is back. It's not me. Look, it's hard. There's a whole screen. There's lots of stuff going on. I'm trying to make it so you guys don't have to hear errant sounds constantly. Sue me. No, don't. Please don't. Okay, we have Discord up. Let's get... .gg up as well. Okay, we are good. It is not a stream without me messing up. I am not a professional. We know that. I don't know what I'm talking about ever. We have our first few roster reviews up for the day. Let's see what we got going on. Here, roster review information. I actually have one more to add here if we can get it done today. I'm not sure if we'll get this one. All right, we're going to pop over here first to our premium thread. A little background info. Just finished up JMK. Java in December. SLKR in October. So taking a little break from the GL grind as I've gotten a little burnt out from it. Played casually up until August last year, and I've stepped on the gas. I wonder if he has gas. Also working on remodding most of my accounts since I found out 3 years too late that the in-game mod recommendations are garbage, which is very factually accurate. Top 20 of your fleet arena. 50-50 Leviathans and Executors. Yes, I'm in my Shard Discord and managed to get first every day. Only, I think that's a bug that people are talking about with that character. Thankfully, I just have my phone audio off most of the time, so I don't hear it. Assault Battles, most of them CT3. Night Sisters, not CT3, which is okay. That's not a big deal one. Inquisitors at 0. Duel of the Fates R5, Peridia Patrol 0. What are you currently working on? Currently working on BKM, then planning to go after Jedi Knight Cal, while also slow farming the Peridia Trio on the side for Paw Patrol. Decided to do BKM first as I'm still 3 months away from unlocking Malicos through PG. Are you dead set? BKM and JK, Jedi Knight Cal Kestis, I am, as I feel like getting Mandalore and Zepho is pretty valuable for my guild. That's absolutely. I actually said this to Meathead a few days ago. He was asking me a few questions, and I said, these Jedi Knight Cal, Beskar Mando, and Inquisitors are really big guild targets that people look for. We were talking about... Well, I can't tell you what we were talking about. He didn't promise me to secrecy, but I feel like it's privileged information. But those BKM and Jedi Knight Cal Kestis are definitely very big guild targets that guilds look at, whether you're looking for a new guild or whether you're in a guild and want to be more valuable to them. How highly do you value efficiency? Highly. Are there any favorite characters? Not really at the moment. Shards that are important from Proving Grounds. Not a Conquest character, but Reba is 175 of 330, and Malicos is 270 of 330. So you were a casual player for a while, for a long time. You're now getting ramped up. And what I will tell you as somebody who was in the same position as you, right? So somebody who did play very casually for about 2 years and then had to start playing catch-up. It's a very long road to catching up, but it can be done. Obviously, the game has shifted dynamics a lot in that time. Now there's Lightspeed bundles. I didn't have Lightspeed bundles to help me catch up, but that also comes at the cost of a very, very, very significant Zeta crunch that you probably are feeling. But it is possible. There is Some crackling coming in on my audio. Let's reset the audio then. Give me a second to reset this. All right. I'm assuming and I'm hoping that the audio is running a little bit better now on my end. Please let me know, Nee. But anyway, there is a light at the end of the tunnel for you. It is just going to take, it takes years. Maybe it'll only take a year or two, depending on what Lightspeed bundles come to the game in that time. I'm going to say with this type of ROI here on the Assault Battles, having just done JMK, Jabba, and SLKR, so we were a little behind, there definitely is a GL deficit that you're still catching up on, probably somewhere around like the 8 to 9 million range on GP. So let us check it out. Look at that. Literally just hit 9 million, and this is from I think a week ago. So it would have been right in the 8 million to 9 million range. So I'm going to take that as a win on my part. It is 1:30 right now. I forgot to do a timestamp, so we'll just say 1:20 and hope for the best. I'll actually go back in and check that later. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we're missing C and Lord Vader. And obviously we're missing Ahsoka as well, but we're not as concerned with that right now. That's something we can kind of build out going into the future. Let's check out where we are with BKM. Actually, before we do that, let's check out our guild, 476. Okay, tools, gear tracker. Mostly shard farmed, just finishing Kel, and then we really just have a relic grind and maybe a G12 grind here. And Cal Kestis, it's pretty much a gear grind. And we have Cal actually, who is an 8 energy node, I believe. So actually a pretty quick farm, but it does, suck that for a week or 2 weeks you'll have to stop your signal data farms, which is, it's not a big problem, especially with how quick of a farm Cal Kestis tends to be. We do not have Leviathan yet. Okay. We only have Executor, no Profundity. All right. I really, really want to see you have another GL ship at some point. It's nice that you're hitting first every day. I'm assuming you invested in P1, Punishing One, to be able to do that. Yeah, you did. But at your level of the game, if you really want to advance, you need to invest in your fleets a little bit more than you have already. We do have Malgus. We're working on Malgus. How is our Fury class? Okay, Fury class is not activated yet. You did not isolate that as an important farm, which I find to be interesting. And I really hazard to get a little bit scared of this one. And really no investment in Inquisitors yet. I don't know if you're banking on an Inquisitor Lightspeed bundle, or if you just really hate Inquisitors. What I will say is I personally think that Inquisitors are a fan favorite for a Lightspeed bundle. I think that it would be a very, very smart move of CG to do an Inquisitor's Lightspeed bundle for May the 4th. But I don't like to give advice based on things that we don't know for sure. So the advice I'm going to give you is based off of no Inquisitor Lightspeed bundle, and you can choose to follow it or not follow it based on, you know, your proclivity for gambling. Secrets and Shadows. Interesting. I'm going to say that if you put like 2 relic levels into Daka and you mod her for full speed, like I even have a health arrow on her. Not full speed, sorry, full health. And you just get her for full health. Like here, health, 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 all health on Daka. Everything on Daka should be health. If you get her to like R5 and full health, you could use that Talzin, Daka, Asajj, Marin, and Zombie team, and you can probably beat that Secrets and Shadows at CT3. It'll be a little bit more RNG dependent because not everything is relic high, but it is very possible. And the nice thing about Marin is she has made that she's made that assault battle go very quickly. So in the old days of doing CT2 or CT3, you'd spend like 20 minutes just to get to phase 4 and die. But in the new Marin world, you can get to phase 4 in like 2 minutes, which makes it a lot easier to stomach multiple attempts. Duel of the Fates. Duel of the Fates also, I personally, look, I'm big. I think Duel of the Fates is such an amazing ROI event that people should get it to R9. I think you're at a point in the game where it's not a hard requirement, but I would very strongly, very, very strongly recommend bringing both of them at least to R7. I think R7 is a really solid natural stopping point for them. But I am on the R9 ship for the Duel of the Fates assault battle. Yeah, if they do it, it is going to be a $50 pack. Hands down. No questions asked. It might even... I would not put it past them to sell it more expensive even than that because I think people would buy it. They hate farming Inquisitors, and it would be a really useful pack to people. Unfortunately, I could see them selling it for $75 and alienating some people, but plenty of people buying it. Let's see. Let's check out a few just other small things here. I'm seeing 1, 2. That Force Dyad Omicron is a very nice one. I'm thinking your Aeroids, Droid Brains, and Keypads. Yes, and it has about a 16-month ROI on it, which is not a long time. Like people say, oh, 16 months, it's so much time. It's not a long time in the game frame of this, of a game like this. It's 16 months goes like that when you're talking about a game like this game. You definitely are in a major Zeta Omicron crunch. You know, I would like to see Ben. Ray really doesn't put much work in without Ben, so I'd really like to see Ben get put up as just a small project. Malgus, again, with Leviathan. I think that, man, I think that I would do is BKM and Jedi Knight Cal Kestis are really solid right now and great ideas for you. They're going to hold you in your guild and they're going to really help your guild afterwards. I just want to check your Paw Patrol and where they're at first. No, they're not bad. Okay, you're getting pretty close with these guys. Where's Enoch? Except, not Enoch. Where's Death Trooper is here. So, BKM and Jedi Knight Cal Kestis are really solid choices for you right now because they're going to help you from the guild side of things. I think that while you're slow farming Paw Patrol, I would also be investing in Malgus as well as Ben Solo. Ben Solo is going to turn your Rey team from kind of like an A- tier team into an A+ tier team. Now, Rey has some additional things that you can do. She's just such a plug-and-play GL where you can throw Baby Cal in there. You can throw Hezra in there. You can throw L337 in there. And you can do all sorts of different things. Well, they were playing more casually, which is going to put this, we have a roster that's trying to get caught up to be able to be more consistent. But after you finish BKM and Jedi Knight Cal Kestis, I would really be putting your energy towards Malgus, and I'd really be putting your energy towards Ben, because they're just solid farms, and Malgus is going to put you closer towards the Leviathan farm. You already have a Sith Empire team. R9 always crystals. You already have a Sith Empire team, and Malgus is going to elevate that even more. And although Malgus used to be a defense-only GL with his Omicron, he's become a very important offensive tool, specifically against a lot of the newer teams. So he does become important in the space of GAC and territory wars now. I would say finish the 2 farms you're working on, BKM, Jedi Knight Cal Kestis. I would strongly advise, if you're willing to put in the brute force work for Secrets and Shadows, only doing 2 relic levels on Old Daka and really high health modding Old Daka and really high speed modding everybody else and trying to brute force it without any extra energy. I would be putting resources into Ben and Malgus while you're slow farming your Paw Patrol, which should be coming towards the end at this point of the timeline. I would be investing my energy into Leviathan. I know you don't have Fury class unlocked yet, but we're talking 4, 5, 6 months down the road, and you still have a lot of other work that needs to be done for that farm. And I just really think that you need to not sleep on your ships as much. And Leviathan is going to be the better of the 2 out of Profundity and Leviathan. Now, with that said, I do think that Profundity is going to get a lifter this year. But once again, I don't like to give advice based off of something that is a theory or a thought. So I think that that's where I would go with that. Once again, do your BKM, do your Jedi Knight Cal Kestis, 2 relic levels on Old Daka, brute force your Secrets and Shadows, work on your Ben, work on your Malgus, work on your Leviathan. And I honestly think that you need to start putting resources towards your Inquisitors. If you want to gamble on it being a Lightspeed bundle, I understand that. I don't agree with it personally. I don't like to make gambles. But Inquisitors become such a solid team once you have Third Sister. And we're talking about a timeline of 5, 6, 7 months at this point, and you already are halfway there. If you go earlier in the stream, you'll see me like just rocking the shit out of things in Conquest with it. And Third Sister, even with just one Omicron, becomes a highly, highly, highly relevant team in GAC. And even without Omicrons, obviously becomes a highly relevant team in Territory Wars. Look, if you look at Fanatical Devotion as only ROI, you're never going to see an ROI on what you have to invest in to get there. But if you look at it as an extra compared to everything else you're going to get once you've finished up Third Sister, it becomes a nice prospect to finish that up as well. So that's where I would go with this. I think you're on the right track. I get having a GL fatigue. I think slotting Leviathan in there will help with a Zeta crunch that you didn't isolate, but I definitely know that you're in right now. And you might even consider profundity after everything just to get it done, because ships are what wins GACs. Ships are what gets you where you need to be, and it brings players into Kyber just on that merit alone. So we're going to move on from there, but I think that is our plan with you, at least from my perspective. Let's move on to our regular reviews. We've got the High Ground. 116, so only 10 days ago. Lady Geek, R9's always crystals. I honestly have never used crystals towards an R9, ever. I've bought signal data with crystals. I have never once bought R9 material with crystals. Like, I can't even fathom doing it. I want as many materials being got for free as I possibly can. I know a lot of people buy R9 materials with crystals. There's people in my guild who do it. I have one guy in my guild who's committing to one R9 a week, which is crazy for me to think about. But, to each their own. Thoughts on next raid potentially being delayed? I mean, with every day that passes, I think that it's more and more likely that that's happening, because we're running into February right now, and if we think about the raid having gone in July, right, beginning of July 2nd, we go July to August, September, October, November, December, January, and crystals. Yes, you get 100 crystals as well. So that's 6 months right there. Kevbot, we were talking about it yesterday. And then we go into February, that's 7 months right there. And all of our raids so far have been about 6.5 to 7.5 months. So I think with every passing day, there's more merit to there being a raid delay. I know the raid changes so far have been relatively nice. I will say that CG did say 6 to 9 months for every raid, and they never said that every raid would have the exact same cadence. So technically going into March, I think would be 9 months, right? So again, July to August, September, October, November, December, January, February, March. Going into March would be 8 months. Going into April would be 9 months. So even if we get it early April, it's not technically delayed. I see more and more merit to it each day, but until they make an announcement, I'm not willing to put more of my materials towards Battle of Naboo, because I already have the highest ROI characters that I could possibly get. Kevbot, we were talking about that yesterday with your roster, right? If you want to invest in Battle for Naboo, at your point, you want to look for things that are going to give you some usefulness outside of that battle, because we don't know where things are going to fall. I have not had a chance to play the update yet, because I did all of my battles immediately preceding the update, like literally maybe 3 or 4 hours before the update went live. So I will find out this week. But other than the 3-man mall team, I have heard some really, really solid good things. Let's move on. We got the high ground, right? So the high ground, we are at 148. Let's say 149 because we're already pretty close to that. The high ground. Top 20 fleets, Executor. We have yet to start a fleet Discord, but as of now, I get my number 1 spot every day before my payout. ABs, mostly CT2s and CT3s. Fanatical Devotion, CT2, nothing on Duel of Fates or Paw Patrol. Currently working on Jabba, Poncho Bros, and Zombie Troopers Leia. 2 and 3 can be swapped. In fact, I might flip them, but if you think 2 before 3 would be a better payoff, then I'd take your advice. I'm set on finishing this order as getting Jabba on my roster. I will never, ever, 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 ever tell someone not to farm Jabba. Will help my mods. My mod score can be better, and that's putting it kindly. I do not have a reliable way of farming droid brains other than crystals. My guild is currently working on punching up in TW to get to the droid brains online. And would it be a great investment if I got them both to R9 ASAP, considering where I currently am in my account? How highly do you value efficiency? Any characters you want to prioritize, though you're not smart? Jedi Knight Cal-Kestis for my JML team, and Jar Jar, but I want to finish Jabba and Leia to finish the new AB farms to at least R7. I created my account back in, I'd say, roughly 2017, but I wasn't very interested in the game for years and would constantly forget to log in. I started playing consistently recently, and my shards are filled with Kyber accounts with JMKs. Thankfully, I've encountered no Leviathans in my fleet shard, but I'm sure that's not going to last long. I started to play SWG every day around the time the first bundle came out, and I love this game. Not because of the bundles. In fact, I kind of regret some because I don't mind farming. I can just be impatient. If there are 0 Leviathans in your shard, even though you started in 2017, I have a feeling that you didn't hit level 85 until recently. But because I have a hard time seeing a 2017 shard having 0 Leviathans in it. So you must have been pre-shard. I don't know. It doesn't really matter that much, though. Just want to give you some background. Based on this, I'm going to say like 5 to 6 million account. Let's check it out. 3.5. All right, so a little lower than I was anticipating. But I do think it gives credence to the idea that you were sub level 85 until more recently. Because I just don't see an account from 2017 having no Leviathans in it. Let's check out this guild, Inglorious Blasters. 308. I think you're punching up in your guild. Oh, definitely. Absolutely punching up. No GLs yet, but working on Jabba. But you said JML, so did you get him and... No, we didn't get him yet. Okay. See, Jedi Master Luke. Why do you want Jedi Knight Cal for your JML team? You don't even have a JML team. I mean, that doesn't mean don't get Jedi Knight Cal Kestis, but like, doesn't make sense. Jabba. No, don't have Executor yet. Interesting. Yeah, I mean, like, if it's all Executors, you more recently got to level 85. I would like to see you get that Executor. So, to answer some of your questions, I don't see Jar Jar as a smart investment for you, especially with the raid ending. I get wanting to do it because, like, Jar Jar, obviously, he's awesome. But I don't think it's a smart investment for you. As for Poncho Bros and Zombie Troopers, I do think that something can be said for having them at the R9 tier, but I just do not think that Ooh, why is my audio screwing up today? I don't know. Thank you, Ani. I don't know why it's doing that today. Um, Jar Jar, I don't see Jar Jar as a solid point for you. And then when it comes to Pancho Bros and Zombie Troopers with R9, I see the need for droid brains, but I just don't think they are your biggest priority right now as a player. And I think that you will significantly slow yourself down by going to the R9 tier this early. You can absolutely do it, and you'll be building out droid brains for when you need them. I just don't think it is a necessity for you right now. I think that I would be putting a strong focus towards Jabba. Absolutely, hands down, without a doubt. I would be putting a strong focus towards Executor as well, right? Hands down, no questions asked. You're getting pretty close to finishing the gearing for Jabba, and once you finish the gearing for Jabba, I'd be working on the gearing for Executor, which you obviously have a couple of guys, and Ig and Dengar are not fully there yet. What you really want to happen is for you to get Executor and not need to bring it to 7 stars. Because if you can get Executor early, you can get as much of those stars each month for free as possible while your guild is doing the play catch-up thing, right? Which is also going to mean, hey, you are going to want to work on on a punishing one, right? Just to make your life easier once you get it. Even getting it to like 5 stars would be really nice. But that'll allow you to not have to worry so much. So I think that I would work on Jabba and Executor in tandem right now. More priority to Jabba, little bit less priority to Executor. As you finish Jabba, more priority to Executor, then work on Jedi Master Luke, right? Little bit less priority to Jedi Master Luke until you finish Executor. After you finish Jedi Master Luke, you are in a guild that would benefit from Jedi Knight Cal Kestis, definitely, right? They're at like 308. We're talking... I don't know what's going on with the audio today. Man, I do not know. I'm going to try something. Let's switch the audio. Okay. I wasn't muted. I had put on... Okay. So here's what happened. I changed the audio to my webcam to see if that would help fix things. And it looks like the webcam just isn't picking up audio at all. I've switched it back to the mic. I don't know where the audio issues are coming from, especially if going in and out is helping. It might be a YouTube issue. I'm not entirely sure. That seems to work a lot of the times when it's a going in and out issue. I would say, so just to recap, Jabba is your main priority, little bit lesser priority to Executor. As you finish Jabba, Executor is your main priority, little bit less to Jedi Master Luke. After Jedi Master Luke, you could certainly go for Jedi Knight Cal Kestis. Your guild is going to start asking about that, right? Because we're talking about 4 or 5 months down the road. They're going to want to do Zepho. So having Jedi Knight Cal Kestis is going to help you. If you're putting Poncho Bros in there, I would do... Let's see where we're at with them now, just before I say anything dumb. Oh, I mean, where is the other one? Do we not even have Padawan Obi-Wan unlocked? That's crazy. How? And then what about these boys? Yeah, I'm gonna be honest, I would not focus on the Paw Patrol boys yet. As far as the Poncho brothers, if you're gonna do them, there's 2 ways you can do them. One way would be, my advice would be to get Padawan Obi-Wan to 5 stars and let them kind of farm on their own, even though I know your Poncho Master Qui-Gon is already almost done. Or if you're going to go all out on them, I think the R5 tier is a good tier for you to stop at with where you are in the game. Leia is a great farm. I think JML is a much stronger farm for you right now. After JML, I mean, we're looking at 6 to 8 months down the road. I don't know. But that would probably be the point to be going for Leia. Things can change in that amount of time, so I would just keep that in mind. Jar Jar, again, I get the love for him and wanting to go after him, but I do think it would be a severely inefficient farm for you to go after, and is not worth your trouble. All right, so let's move on to our. This is one that I'm not looking forward to because I already know what to expect from it because this person's friend messaged me. But wait a second. I might be looking at the... Let me look at this. Is this... I'm looking at the wrong account because this one never added. All right, we'll have to make a note there. We will have to make a note of what's going on. Wow, I just wasted so much time because this never... Is this person just in the same guild? This person's just in the same guild. God damn it. Wow, what a waste of fucking time. Holy shit. Holy fucking shit. Fuck. Alright, what is it? It was 10 minutes. Okay, let's just start over. 2 hours and 2 minutes. Because I can't even use that as my review for them because I don't know where they are. Time spent with friends is never wasted. God damn. At least we look at the bright side. So, oh, see, what did I say? I said 6 to 7 million for that account, and this is indeed a 6 to 7 million account. So I was right. We're going to reread the Discord message, because why not? Top 20 Fleet Arena, Executor, we have yet to start a Fleet Discord. CT2 on a lot of these. Jabba Farm to improve my mods. Poncho Brothers, Zombie Troopers, Leia. 2 and 3 can be swapped. I'm set on finishing this order. I do not have a reliable way of farming droid brains right now. My guild is working on it. Would it be a great investment to R9 them both ASAP, considering what I'm currently am in my account? How high do you value efficiency? I value efficiency. I want Jedi Knight Calcastus for my Jedi... See, and before I was like, wait a second. He keeps talking about a JML team, and he doesn't even have a JML team. So now this makes so much more sense. Okay. Created it in 2017. Again, I am surprised, though. We have a 7 million account. There's no Leviathans in a 2017 shard. And that's kind of crazy because we're looking at a 7 million account, and it seems unreasonable to expect that that happened really, really recently. We are doing rank 3, and we do have Executor. Not we don't have Executor. We've got 2 GL. Okay. We have just the Executor, which is fine. Let's check out where those Gungans actually are. Okay, Gungans are nowhere. Let's check out those Poncho Bros. Alright, this makes more sense. They're evenly distributed, 5 and 5 stars. And our Imperial Remnant. Okay. And just for funsies, let's look at Jedi Knight Calcastus. Well, we can do it this way. Jedi Knight Cal. We've got a little ways to go. We need shards for that. Jabba, we're close to. See, now all of your decisions are a little bit more reasonable to me. Okay, good. All right. So here's what I do here. Jabba is hands down yes. You should be doing Jabba. Without a doubt, no questions asked. You're almost done with it. You might as well get it done. When it comes to the Poncho Bros and Zombie Troopers, I think when we look at your Imperial Remnants, that it is worth it to just keep them at 5 stars. Okay, so I see that there are 4 stars right now. Slow farm them up to 5 stars. Do tier 1 and 2 and just let the event get them to level 7 for you. When it comes to Duel of the Fate and these two guys, you have the option of doing the same exact thing and letting the event do it for you. When did these guys come out? Let's see. Padawan, Obi-Wan, release date. I think probably April, May, right? May 8th. Yes, I don't know if I'd wait for acceleration. If you are going to more readily farm the two of them, you absolutely can go to the R9 tier, but I do think your guild's not in a position yet where like you really need to be doing many R9s. You're going to be doing them fairly slowly. You're going to be getting like 1 or 2 of them. It might be more worth it to just get them from crystals for now. You certainly can do them to R9, but I think you are going to slow yourself down significantly in order to do it. And you'll be building out ROI, so the slowdown won't necessarily be a bad thing, but it will slow you down and might put you maybe like a month behind. So I don't think it's a necessity for you yet. I would say your natural stopping point for the Padawan and Master Qui-Gon is R7 with where you are. So before, with the other guy who was looking at his account, I said R5. For you, I think it's R7 right now. I would finish the Jabba farm. I would do the Poncho Bros there after Jabba if that's what you want to do. If you want to not let it do it by itself. I would slow farm my Imperial Remnant just to 5 during this point, just letting the event kind of do it for you and not have to worry about it so much. At that point, Leia is a really good farm, and I see her as a strong contender for you, but I think I would go for Profundity first. You're probably in a Zeta crunch. You're having some trouble there, definitely, without a question. Profundity is going to be an easier farm because unless you want to invest in those teams, you're not going to have to put Zetas on them right away. And because you don't need Profundity yet, you'll be able to allow those shards to refresh in the background for you during that time. After you do Profundity, that's when I think Leia is a little bit smarter of a choice for you. Yes, you will have to buy Droid Brains for R9 material for Radis. I get it. I understand it. It's worth doing. You'll save so many crystals over the months of you not having to refresh the event until you actually have to start refreshing the event, which is not what's happening yet. When your guild starts to actively request a Jedi Knight Cal Kestis, that's when I'd start to do Jedi Knight Cal Kestis. So what I mean by that is I do think he's a pretty good farm for you, but I think I would wait until after Leia, unless your guild starts saying, hey, we want to actively pursue Jedi Knight Cal Kestis. In which case, that is where you slot it in into your roster. Now, one I did not look at. Oh, good. So you are farming Punishing One. So, it can still beat Leviathans. It is a little bit on the tougher side, but it is good that you're actively investing in that for when you need that in the future. But overall, there's my path. There's not too much more to say. Looking at these notes, it's kind of similar to when I screwed up before, what I would have said to that person before that. Now, let's do your guildmate, who we've already kind of looked at their roster. But we will look at your Discord message as well. Crowley 211. Now, Crowley, I'm going to preface this by saying, just in case you don't watch this whole thing, I already looked at your roster. We did a silly little oopsie, and I never clicked on the person ahead of you's roster, and we looked at your roster with the intention of it being for that other person. So you're going to see me click through your .gg, and you're going to be like, well, he hasn't even looked at a lot of things. And it's because we already have, and that's my little oopsie. And we did that around the 148 mark. So if you want to see me clicking around your roster and giving the wrong advice to the wrong person, you're welcome to do it. But just know that. Top 20 Fleet Arena, 90% negotiators from the gas bundle, 1 whale while finished RCMP1. I coordinate with the whale consistently top 1 to 2 since inception. I also coordinate reset times with the top 5. Our assault battles are not in the greatest shape right now. What are you currently working on? Jedi Knight Luke, I haven't unlocked Wampa, Rolo, Cholo, Hoda yet. Starting from scratch, I unlocked C-3PO yesterday. Goal is finish Malak Shards, then Jedi Knight Luke to unlock Jabba. Executor farming to prep for 6-month time when my negotiator is not relevant in my shard. Also working on Marauder to bridge to, you say to Executor, I'm assuming you're talking about negotiator. Oh, I get it. You're working on it now to make your ship stronger until you have Executor. C after Jabba, JML after C. Are you dead set? No, I'm willing to take advice and follow the most effective path. I want to be helpful to my guild and build a roster full of a solid foundation to eventually focus on current content. I want to have a strong Zeta mod omnipresence, currently at 0.37. How highly do you value efficiency? I'm not driven by farms. Efficiency is valuable to me. I'm just overwhelmed and my roster is a mess. Are there any favorite characters? No, I'm most interested in what you would do if this was your account. We'll most likely stick to that. Okay. So this provides me a lot of more interesting context on this account. So let's take a look again. I want to see, because we're talking about Malik, Sith Empire, Darth. I was gonna say, don't even bother with Malik right now, but you are very close. What I definitely would suggest is buying Rolo shards. Do we even have her unlocked? Buying Rolo shards with Get 2 sucks. So when the bounty events come around, always choose Rolo. I don't know if Rebel Officer Leia and Wampa are in the same event, because there's a Bounty 1 and a Bounty 2, but always choose Rolo. And then, if Wampa's in the same event, go for Wampa. If Wampa's not in the same event, then get Wampa from the other one. Which also means that when you free up your Get 1, use it towards Hermit Yoda first, then Wampa, just because you'll get some free Wampa shards and you'll have to farm it a little bit less in that regard. I would like to see your Forest Moon and your Rebel Roundup get up to at least CT1, because then you're going to be getting Kyrotech and Zetas a little bit more. And it is kind of a decent amount of time until you have Jabba, just because you don't have, Rolo or Hoda yet. Oh, do you have Wampa yet? Because you didn't say no Wampa. No, you got to work on... Oh, you did. You did say no Wampa. Captain Han, not as bad. But you have some time before Jedi Knight Luke Skywalker, so we're going to need to get things done in the meantime while you're working on those farms. Finish Malik, you're already close enough, you might as well just do it. That's the Nike way. Your bounty hunters probably can do CT1 of Rebel Roundup. You're going to need to remod. Now, I'm not the modding guy. Captain Amazing is the modding guy. I will give you very basic modding advice, and for that right now, it's every arrow you have should have a speed primary. There are exceptions to that, but there are so few exceptions to that they're not worth talking about right now. Right now, focus on getting every one of your usable teams an arrow that is a speed primary. Because if you and obviously your secondaries should all have, again, all of my secondaries I try to have at least 11 speed as a bare minimum. That's not realistic for you right now, but they should all have a speed stat as a secondary, something. I think that if you take Bosk Lead, I think you might need a Zeta here. Let's see. You might need one or two of his Zetas for this, but with a Bosk Lead, Boba Fett, Greedo, Cad Bane, with Bosk Lead, Boba Fett, Grief Karga, the Mandalorian, and Greedo, if you remod specifically for Rebel Roundup and just putting your best mods on them, you should already be able to do Roundup at CT1. You might need a Zeta or two, but it's honestly worth it. Maybe the Bosk Zeta. I think he has two, but I mean, definitely. Let's see, the leader, view the upgrades. And this one, I would say definitely the Trandoshian Rage is probably the more important one for the event. but I think it's worth doing because you'll get an ROI on that fairly early on. 20 Zeta mats, that is 10 events, 10 months, it's worth it. Your Imperial Troopers, they're in the same boat, right? Veers, Stark, Piet. I would do Range Trooper, who you have not started yet, but I would even do 5 battles a day on Range Trooper, right? And as a very cheap team, Range Trooper and Snow Trooper, even at like G10, G11, if you put your fastest speed mods on all 5 of those characters, so Veer, Stark, Piet, Range Trooper, Snow Trooper, you should be able to get CT1 of Forest Moon. And you can all do that in the background while you're waiting on other things right now. Because again, you have a lot of time for Wampa and everything, and you want to get all of these to CT1 as quickly as possible. Secrets and Shadows is not as important right now. Oh my god. You have CT2 of Inquisitor 1? You don't have Inquisitors. Do you have Tuskens? Oh, you have Tusken. Wow, you have Relic Tusken. Oh, because you probably bought the Lightspeed bundle. I would say Executor is your major priority right now. While you're doing those little projects to get those CT1s and while you're working on getting towards Jedi Knight Luke Skywalker, I would put heavy priority towards Executor simply so that you do not have to spend resources on shards every month. You won't have to refresh the event if you're one of the first people to get it, and that's going to save you a lot of crystals long term, even though you're already getting first and second. So I would really put a strong priority towards your Executor. While you're working on all of that, hopefully you'll be in a better position to be much closer to Jedi Knight Luke Skywalker to get Jabba, and going for that. And quite honestly, I would skip C right now and go after JML first. I think that C should either be somebody's first GL or their last GL, personally. And even though you don't have any GL right now and you could make it your first one, I think you're in a position where it's not really an important thing for you to do right now. So I would skip C, focus on JML. Jedi Skywalker. Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't even worry past that. We're looking at like 8 months, depending on roster, depending on Lightspeed bundles. So I wouldn't even go any further than that right now. Just skip C, primary focus Executor. I highlighted the small things with Rebel Roundup and Forest Moon. And once again, I just really want to stress mods. I know that you know that already, but the important thing is, for right now, there are like less than 10 exceptions that I can think of for arrows that you don't want to speed primary on. So really start to get those speed primaries, and you're going to notice your team's doing a lot more for you. You may still have to remod specifically for Rebel Roundup and Forest Moon once you get those guys done, but it's going to be worth it when you start to build out those resources for the long term. And I would say check back in like 6 to 8 months, where your roster will be in a much better position where we can look at it and assess it from there. Yeah, and if you have any questions, you know where to find me. Oh, man. All right. I have one more review. I'm going to hold that review for next week, though. We're going to see who's on Twitch, and we're going to raid out to them. I can hear my wife stirring upstairs. I want to just kind of double check that she's doing okay this morning, grab some breakfast, and then I actually have to actually actively manage this TB and see what's going on. So I will say thank you for joining me for brunch today. Next week should be a little bit lighter because it's not Hell Week anymore, and we'll be moving into Dark Ray. If you have not already watched the Gungies, please go do so. Share it with your friends. It was a fun time, and I hope that everybody has a solid week.